Hi there, this is Dr. Everybody to welcome you to week 1 of CSE 231 in our world of COVID. So you've made it through week 0, got Python installed, you've figured out where we are on D2L, where we are on the web, you found Mimir, you wrote a one-line program, you got it handed in, got Python installed on your computer. It's actually already done a lot, and we do that so that you're ready to roll when when you're dealing with the material this week. So the topic of this week is numbers. When you're writing programs, you're really manipulating data, and so we start with the simplest, which is just numbers, and we have ints and floats, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about having some letters in there that we call characters, so we start out some simple arithmetic. How do you add, subtract, multiply, divide, and these kinds of things? And what's the difference? What are these float things? And probably one of the underlying concepts that's important to wrap your head around is the fact that floats are really representing real numbers. And in mathematics, they're infinite kinds of things, right? Between any two real numbers is another real number. Just take the two real numbers and take the average. So you have this notion of infinite, but in a computer we have a finite number of memory locations. So the reals as floats will always be approximations, and that's one thing you want to make sure you think about that. So we start off. You read the chapter. You got some chapter 1 exercises to do. Got a lab coming up. You don't do the lab ahead of time. You do the pre-lab ahead of time. But your reading and the chapter exercises are what are preparing you to go into the lab. In the lab, you'll be paired up with another student. You guys will work in 2s and 3s, and then you will do the lab together. Students in section 730 do it on your own, but the idea is that this is collaborative. You're working together. You're figuring out this stuff. You got somebody to work it out with. And we're going to be using Microsoft Teams, partly because we have an overseas presence in this course, and there's a number of countries, most notably China, that blocks Zoom. So we got Microsoft Teams, and that seems to not be blocked, I hope. Next Monday we have first project due, and we have one thing about projects 1 through 3 is that we always use the same ones. Mostly because there isn't much to work with. We can't do much really interesting. Project 1 is near and dear to my heart. My wife and I go backcountry canoe camping in Canada every summer, except this summer because the Canadians wouldn't let us in. But anyways, the 1 through 3, and they've been kicking around for a while. They're pretty well tuned, and the others after that are custom made, new for every semester. On Wednesday, we're going to just have Dr. Zabar and I are going to have this open meeting. We're just going to have a big Zoom. Come and ask questions. That's what it's there for. We're not taking attendance, anything like that. Just whatever questions you have about the course. But that'll be Wednesday night, and the Zoom link is included in this. Final thing, this is this election year. So those of you who are U.S. citizens, make sure you register to vote. Voting is important. It's always a good thing to do, but you can't vote if you don't get registered. So at the end of this week's message, I included a link at least for the Michigan people. You guys are smart enough in other places to figure out how to do that, but it's an important thing to do. All right, good luck.